Hey, we're Diamond Plate. You're watching Superskum.com.
Few dates into the Killfest tour with Overkill. How's the tour gone so far?
Awesome.
Yeah,
amazing.
Awesome. Amazing. It's definitely our biggest U.S. tour ever, and you know, we hope that this is just going to be a stepping stone for bigger and bigger stuff to come in the U.S.
Yeah, so far it's been amazing. The shows are killer every night. Fans are amazing, and it's where we want to be right now. Definitely.
Very cool. All right, so 2008 saw you guys release 2 songs via the internet, and it had Terrorizer magazine name you guys the 5th best unsigned band. How did that influence the direction of the band?
It really did, man. I mean, we just kind of released the songs, and people and fans and critics, you know, they made their own opinion of it, but that never really mattered to us. We were just kids, you know, releasing songs for fun, and hopefully, you know, people listening enjoyed it. So
it's a cool little pat in the back.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely cool. You know, Terrorizer is a pretty big, well-established magazine. So it was a sign that we were doing something right. Whatever that was, we still haven't figured out, but we're doing something okay, I guess.
So you've supported such thrash metal legends as Overkill, Exodus, and Destruction. How have they helped influence you guys?
Well, I mean, you know, when we were younger, that's what we were kind of into and brought up on. So you know, definitely the energy and aggression that's, you know, we get from all the older guys.
I think seeing Anthrax live was a big thing for me, at least. Just watching how tight they are live, and they put on the same show every night, you know, like as far as how tight it is, and it's inspirational to, you know, see that, like how good they are at their craft.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. It's like every band that we open for, I mean, we learn from them. We absorb everything. At the end of the day, you know, we have to learn from that and hopefully grow as a band ourselves to one day have bands do the same thing when they watch us. So yeah, you got to learn from the best.
What made you guys decide to re-record and re-release At the Mountains of Madness?
The fact that when we first recorded that,
the first couple times.
Yeah, the first couple times we were just like kids recording it in our basement, you know.
Yeah, we didn't even know what a click track was.
Yeah, I mean, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just, you know, playing as fast as we could. And once it was time to actually record the album, we were a lot more focused. We knew what direction we wanted to go with, and we made everything super tight and super focused. And you know, that the song as it is now is definitely the best representation of it so far.
Very cool. All right, so in 2010, Digby Pearson, the owner of Earache Records, emailed you guys about joining the Earache family, and shortly after you guys signed with him, and I guess the following year you released your debut, Generation Y. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what that year was like following his email?
A lot of preparation.
A lot of work, man. I mean, as soon as we got the nod from them that we were, you know, officially signed and we were going to release the album, we just got really involved with the songwriting, doing a lot of pre-production, and just making the songs as best as they could be. And that's also the time when we picked up Mario as a second guitar player, because we really just sat down and we were like, okay, everything that we have to get better at, we have to do, you know.
Yeah.
There's no.
We just sat down like, what are we missing? And like, we looked at our live situation, and it's just like we looked at our live situation, and the main thing was, you know, when he would go into solos, the bottom would just drop out, and you know, that was a pretty big issue, you know. So we ended up deciding that we need Mario, and it was a great addition.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Now, the title track from Generation Y sounds similar to an anthem of, you know, telling your generation that, you know, they should strive for something better. I guess, what was your influence into writing that?
I mean, the whole idea of the song came about that, you know, we wrote that when we were 18, 19 years old. The only way that a bunch of 18-year-old kids could write something that's relevant and honest and true is to write about ourselves and our generation, you know. We can't write stuff that's completely over our heads. So we chose to just kind of describe, the stuff that we knew from, being in high school and seeing, kids our age just kind of fuck their lives up and not really have that sense of direction and higher purpose that, we feel that the younger generation needs to have in order to make the world better instead of worse in the future. So, yeah, it's we want to have that kind of like wake-up call for everyone our age.
Very cool. Now, you guys played, one festival in Europe, and then you were on the 70,000 Tons metal cruise. How do those, bigger shows compare with playing the clubs in the U.S.?
Well, they're two completely different things, I think. I don't have too much to say about that, but like, it's definitely a different vibe. We
definitely like playing the bigger shows better, put it that way. But it's like we always bring the same amount of energy, whether we're playing in front of 5 or 500, or when we were over in the UK, there's a few thousand people watching us. But we play the same either way. We have fun, and that's all that matters to us.
Yeah, whether 10 people show up or 10,000 people show up, we're gonna put on the same show, regardless.
Definitely.
All right. So you guys, based in Chicago, what's the metal scene like there? And is there any bands that we should be looking out for?
Chicago's awesome, man. There's definitely a really, really strong following for us. We pretty much when we started out as kids, there wasn't too many people into thrash and the old the style of metal that we were playing. But as we grew, the scene around us grew as well. And there's Chicago definitely has a lot of killer bands. And there's a band called Smash Potato, which is kind of like a crossover humor thrash band, which is cool. There's a lot of doomy, progressive music. There's so many bands like that. And once you get to Chicago, you find that there's so many bands there. Dawnbringer, High Spirits, so many bands.
Yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah, I can't even name all of them. It's definitely awesome.
You guys' sound is very rooted in the 80s thrash scene. Who are some of your influences?
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica, Pantera, Exodus, Megadeth, Testament, all of them.
Yeah, all the big giants of metal, that's what we strive to kind of carry on. That's that same energy, that same sense of songwriting and stuff.
We're into all different kinds of music, though. I love Alice in Chains. I love Pink Floyd. Dream Theater. All kinds of stuff. Just all kinds of music. And we're all the same way with that. We all have our own separate tastes and everything, and that I think is a big factor in how our songwriting, ends up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
it's kind of like as you was saying, it's we all pretty much, as far as it goes to metal, we all pretty much have like the same influences when we get together, but separately everybody else listens to like different stuff. How you were saying, it's a collective thing. When we get together, it's like we know what we want, we know how we want it to sound, but it doesn't matter if whatever we're listening to on our iPod, it's not gonna we're not gonna be, oh, let's do something like this, but stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty much.
All right, so what does the future hold for Diamond Plate?
Just expanding our sound, getting better at everything we do, from songwriting to putting on a killer live show. It's the same shit that any band I guess would answer, but we know exactly the amount of work that we want to do, and the amount of time that it's going to take to get to where we want to be, which is definitely at a much higher place than we are now. That's it.
Very cool. All right, so this is your time. If you got any messages you want to send out to fans, and if you guys could introduce yourselves, go ahead and do it.
Cool. Conrad Kupiak, lead guitars.
Jim Nicodemus, drums.
John Masak, vocals and bass.
Mario Cianci, guitar.
Oh yeah. And I guess the bottom line is just check us out live. Check out the album. Even if you don't dig the album, check us out live, and we'll definitely change your mind.
All right, guys, thanks. This has been for Superskum.com, and this has been Diamond Plate.
The mountains